Welcome back, folks. I'm Jake Ellenbogen, and today we're going to be talking about Shavon Revel. Okay, I did say his name right. I'm big on pronunciation, and right from Shavon's mouth himself, he did say that is how you say his name. Standing at around 6'2", 193 pounds. This is a guy that I have going early to mid day two. I think this is definitely somebody that could go in the first round, but I kind of see him as a early second round pick. And look, we're going to get into it. Revel is somebody that I actually really enjoyed watching the film on. He is not the most technically sound corner, but when you see the length, I mean, this guy's got some crazy arms at 32 plus inches. It's pretty crazy when you look at just the length this guy has, the overall body composition. But unfortunately, he did tear his ACL this past year, only played 3 games in 2024. So really, I only had access to his 2023 tape, and that's what I'm basing it on. This is a guy who rose from, JUCO, was at Lewisburg College. Then, he goes over to East Carolina and really becomes a star there. All AAC honors type deal. So we're going to get into the pros, the cons. I'm going to give you, of course, as usual, who I think he would be compared to and if he makes sense for the Rams. So let's dive into the pros. What does Shavon Revel bring to the table? Well, like I mentioned, he's got great length, 32 and 5/8 inch arms, 79-inch wingspan, almost 80-inch wingspan, which is 94th percentile. I mean, this guy gives you a massive catch radius to contest throws, but also disrupt routes. So he does a nice job of using that length at the point of attack, off the line of scrimmage, really disrupt wide receivers' ability. So I do like that. He has run support ownership. And what I mean by that is this is a guy that's physical downhill. He's going to make a tackle. He flies into the fray. He's always trying to invoke bad intentions and knock the ball out. And he did, have 5 tackles for a loss and a sack in his career. This is a guy that I think shows the blitz capacity, can be used as a blitzer off the edge, can hunt down the quarterback and finish the tackle. He's a wrap tackler, especially a big thing for me. Technically sound in that department. Just a wide radius. He's only going to have 4 missed tackles in his career going into the pros. So that's really good stuff. His ball skills on the boundary, I think, are really evident. Now, when I say ball skills, first thing people talk about is interceptions, but I'm talking about just the ability to get up there and make a play on the football. It's not always an interception. If you can bat it down, that's just as good as far as what I'm looking for with ball skills. Are you the type of guy that's just going to make the tackle after he catches it, hope he, doesn't catch it, has nothing to do with you, and then you give the whole incomplete sign? That is not Shavon Revel. This is a guy that is going to make plays, 15 pass breakups, 3 interceptions. He had a 90.5 PFF coverage grade in 2023, and that was evident. His vertical is impressive. Now, he didn't work out, obviously injury, so we don't have any idea what his vertical truly is by number. But on tape, I mean, this guy can get up there and, can really high point the football, whether that's batting it down or trying to make an interception. Like I said, he really dominates the 50-50. I'm not saying he's going to come down with it, but I am saying he's going to separate the receiver from the ball, and he does that quite often, and he is very good in doing so. That's, one thing that I really like when I'm watching his tape is that length really does show up, and he knows how to use it. With that said, I also really like that, I was told to watch special teams with him. This is a guy that blocks some kicks, okay? He blocked multiple kicks in 2023, and I think he adds that value. His explosiveness off the edge to block kicks is evident. This guy played 142 special team snaps, so that does matter. He's got speed. So when he has the ball in his hand, this is a guy that has speed and vision. He can turn any interception if he gets his hands on one into a big time pick six. So, he's got some juice. He's got another gear he can kick it into, and that makes him dangerous. Another thing that makes him dangerous, that speed can also be utilized as recovery speed, which he also has. This guy has crazy long speed. In camp, he ran a 4.4 flat. We don't have his 40 time now, but he ran a 4.4 flat at ECU. So that's what's on, record. But I mean, this guy is going to stick right with the best of the best. And I think his play speed is a little bit faster than a 4.4. I mean, I would probably put him around a 4.35 if he was fully healthy. I think that's probably what he would have had. But, he's got the recovery speed. If he, breaks down, at the point of contact off the line of scrimmage, a guy wins the battle, he can catch up. He has no issue sticking in the hip pocket and having that presence and patience. Really disciplined and press, in my opinion. I think he mirrors well. He's got quick feet. He can really just stay glued to his receiver. 42% completion percentage allowed in 2023. And then he's got incredible explosiveness. I mean, he's really twitchy. He's sudden. He's got just such crazy athleticism, and it's on full display. What are the cons? Well, he's overly aggressive. I mean, he plays with this level of reckless abandonment. And, you really see that. I mean, he's really physical. He does have 8 career penalties. He is grabby. So that is something that, you have to look at. Of course, the torn ACL recovery, we're going to see what does it look like this year? I mean, how much is he going to be able to play? That's another thing they have to figure out. I would imagine he's good to go for September, but does he miss camp? I mean, how does that work out? The minute details he overlooks. I think, route recognition, biting on fakes, things like that. Those are the things that he, in my opinion, was exposed with. So that's something there. He drops a lot of interceptions. I think his hands need work. I mean, that's why he plays quarterback and not wide receiver. But at the same time, a lot of takeaway chances that he dropped. So that's when I'm looking for a game breaker. I'm not really looking at Shavon Revel until he gets better in that department. His technique is very inconsistent. I mean, he tackles high. So, I mean, I like a lot of the tackling ability, but he oftentimes does have that, high tackle point. But then in addition to that, it's just like he bites on a lot of things. I think he tries to play like a ball hawk that doesn't have the ball hawk ability. Like I say, he's got great ball skills, but at the same time, this is a guy that quicker receivers could make mincemeat out of until he gets that technique down. I like him on the boundary. I like him deep down the field, but in those short and intermediate yards, that's where, a craftier receiver can put him on edge. So there's that. And again, I mentioned, the grabby, right? He's too grabby for me. Not saying that I'm not interested, but you're going to develop this reputation. I say it all the time. If you develop a reputation early on, you look at Darion Kendrick, 11 penalties in his first year as a starter, that carries with you. Refs are, if they're looking to hit their quota for the day on their flags, they're going to look at Revel, if he develops that in the NFL. So, with that said, who would I compare him to? I have a really talented corner that is very similar in stature, length, press man ability, and explosive athleticism, but doesn't have the ball production as far as the interceptions that you would want, and that is J.C. Horn. Another thing with J.C. Horn, he's had issues with injuries, so that's been a thing. I think, really when you look at Revel, this guy can absolutely be a number 1 corner someday if everything works out. But I think to be safe, I would project Revel to be a high-end cornerback 2 after his full development is picked up. I do think the injury is a concern. ACL tear, cornerback coming off it. We've seen some guys with that, coming in the league and not really have the success afterwards. It's not like it used to be back in the day, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you an ACL tear doesn't matter anymore because, sports medicine is so much better. That's not the case. It still matters. It's still a thing. And so that's just something that I'm balking a little bit at, Shavon Revel, is that how much is he going to be able to contribute and how high of a level is he going to be able to contribute since he was only a 1-year starter in the AAC. He only played 3 games in 2024. So going from that to then, hey, by the way, I need you to start in the NFL. I'm not saying he can't do it. I think this guy's very talented. And I think he's worth, an early day 2 pick. But at the same time, there's risks involved. So How does he fit with the Rams? Does he fit with the Rams? Well, I think he's got potential Pro Bowl. I think he's got Pro Bowl potential. Pro Bowl potential. I do. But I think to be safe, I look at him as a cornerback 2. On the higher end, maybe a low end CB1. And I think with the Rams, a team that has valued length in the past, looking at some of the draft picks they've made, like, a Robert Rochelle and going out and getting Jalen Ramsey, I wouldn't rule out their interest in Shavon Revel. Now, what I will say is that if they were going to go out and get anybody on the outside to, compete with Darius Williams and really potentially win that job next to Ahkello Witherspoon, and of course, Kobe Durant, if he's also in the mix for the outside role. If there was anybody, I feel like they would want a guy that's more NFL ready, and I just question how NFL ready Shavon Revel is. I think he's going to be really good, but I don't know how long it's going to take him to get there. Again, 1-year starter, but we're talking about 2023, only 3 games in 2024, coming off an ACL tear, not being able to really work out or anything like that. There is risk involved. I think the Rams will be interested. I don't know if they pull the trigger, but I think he's definitely a fit for the Rams, and I think they could, utilize him in different ways. His technique has to get better, no doubt about it. But also, looking at the Rams cornerback room, you could say it's not great all you want, but they have a lot of depth. They have Ahkello Witherspoon, they have Darius Williams, they have Kobe Durant, they have Darian Kendrick, and of course they also have Emmanuel Forbes Jr. and some other guys that they gave an opportunity, like a Josh Wallace, right? Like a Charles Woods. They have guys that they have given burn to. So I think this is one of those picks where, yeah, if you see him as like maybe he's your best on your board, or you see the potential is immense, you draft him. And you don't redshirt him, but you don't rush him into the fray either. You look at him as he can contribute this year, but he is being drafted for the long haul. That's how I see it. But again, early to mid day 2 grade. And what I mean by that is early to mid, really second round grade. If Revel doesn't go in the second round, that would be entirely shocking to me, because he is a crazy enough athlete to get drafted on that alone based on the trends that the NFL has set. But I think the Rams would be getting a really talented and raw talented corner with elite athleticism, and somebody I think that would pair well if the technique got better and it translated in the NFL. I think he'd be a great complement. Now, again, another thing here, if you're looking for turnovers, you can get other guys that can force turnovers. He is not a guy that is going to, bring down 7 interceptions in a season or anything like that. So if you're looking to get a Trayvon Diggs or a Deron Bland and have all that, ball production, I don't know if Revel has that in his bag. I guess we'll have to find out. That's what I got for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, NFL comparison is J.C. Horn. Does not mean that I think he'll be as good as J.C. Horn. Just means I think they have similar play style from when J.C. Horn came out of college. So that's how I see it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you want the Rams to get Shavon Revel? Do you not? Let me know. And also, let me know if you want to see more content like this. A certain player. Do you want me to do one on like breaking down the entire position in the draft and the tier groups I have and my rankings? Let me know. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, folks. Later. All right, guys. So once again, just want to let you guys know that you can check out my new side project, The Lounge. I interview athletes, musicians, actors, actresses, all the 9. So definitely check it out over on The Lounge with Jake Ellenbogen channel. Be sure to subscribe and enjoy. In case you guys haven't noticed, I do have a Discord channel for my community on this channel. And if you want to be a part of it, it is free. The link is in the description below. You can sign up. This is basically a 24/7 Rams channel, and we are almost at 1,100 members. So if you want to be a part of it, just hit the link in the description below.